First, in the agriculture zone. Agriculture is important to many committee members and members of the Senate as a whole. And notwithstanding Senator Wyden's and my friendly discussion about potatoes regularly, Idaho's 24,000 farms and ranches produce 185 commodities, and Idaho leads the nation in potato, barley, and hay production, and is the third largest producer of milk and cheese. We've not opened up any new markets for our farmers in the last 4 years. Farmers are also concerned that they may become the target of retaliation if we use tariffs to pressure other countries to change their ways. How will you support the interests of America's farmers and ranchers once you're confirmed as our nation's chief trade negotiator?
Thank you, Chairman Crapo, for those questions. Agriculture is something that is near and dear to my heart. I was raised in Northern California, and that's rice country and almond country. And I'm very familiar as well with the Northwest and Mountain West and the important agricultural crops that you have. In my view, American agricultural producers are the most competitive in the world, and they need to have markets commensurate with that competitiveness. And to me, that means that we need to go and gain market access where things have been closed until now. For many decades, we have had a trading system where the United States opens its market over and over again, and others do not. In India, for example, their average bound tariff rate on agricultural products is 39%. In Turkey, it's 39.8%. These are markets where they need to open to the United States, and I think we need to use all the tools at our disposal to do so.
Thank you very much. And let's move to digital trade. We lost ground during the last administration because we turned our back on digital trade rules, including promoting data flows, combating forced technology transfer, and promoting non-discrimination. A number of jurisdictions, including the European Union and South Korea, utilized that opportunity to advance measures that target U.S. technology companies with special requirements or taxes while exempting their domestic companies or even Chinese companies. Do you agree that ensuring U.S. technological leadership means that we need to confront these types of measures?
Yes, Chairman. I strongly believe that we need to do that. Again, this is an area where the United States is very competitive. And I understand that we are having a domestic conversation about how to regulate digital trade and technology companies, et cetera. And my view is that is where the conversation should be happening. We should not be outsourcing our regulation to the European Union or Brazil or anyone else, and they can't discriminate against us, and it won't be tolerated.
Thank you, and I appreciate that perspective. Next, the law states that the USTR reports directly to the President and Congress. Though my colleagues and I may disagree on policy occasionally, we are united in defending this committee's jurisdiction. If confirmed, do you commit to provide timely and thorough briefings on trade negotiations and to share proposals with this committee in advance of sharing them with foreign governments?
Chairman Crapo, we certainly expect to follow the law to the T with respect to consultations with Congress. I agree with you exactly that the statute directs me to report directly to the President and to you, and that includes all of these consultation requirements, including before we approach foreign governments with serious offers that we need to come to you and talk about it so we can be on the same page.
Thank you. And will you also keep us apprised and consider your input our input with respect to USTR-led investigations and reports in the January 20 America First Trade Policy Memorandum?
Yes.
And then finally, with regard to trade reporting on trade barriers, by law, the USTR is required to issue an annual report called the National Trade Estimate that identifies foreign barriers of U.S. exports of goods and services. The last administration decided it would not list a barrier if the administration agreed with the foreign government's ideology for enacting the barrier in the first place. If confirmed, this year's National Trade Estimate may be one of the very first things you review. Do you agree that the USTR reports should, as statutorily required, identify the full range of discriminatory barriers to U.S. trade, regardless of what agenda or excuse our trading partners may offer?
I agree with